Hi, everyone. I've been drawn to come on video today. I don't know quite what I want to say, except for this one thing, which is, it's the first Saturday of January, and many of us are looking towards Monday and looking towards the rest of the year type of thing. We're coming out of the holiday season. For some people, that season is filled with slowing down, gathering ourselves in a bit, pulling away from the expectations and obligations of life, the world, work. And there's a sweetness about that time. At least there is for me, certainly. I really treasure this time of the year where the solstice happens, the stillness, the ability to pull away from our more social identity. And of course, we're going probably out to parties and seeing family, but there's some other way we can drop some part of our persona and identity. And if we're lucky, and I do feel lucky, we get a chance to be with ourselves in a different quality, be with our hearts, maybe do some soul searching, maybe do some end of year practices like I like to do and do with my community. And I've been in such a great space around this. I've done a lot of soul searching. I feel like I've reorganized parts of my inner self to feel more true to me, sorted through some obligations and expectations that I no longer want to live into, that don't fit me anymore. And yet Monday's coming, and so I feel a little anxiety about that, a little bit of, oh dear, how do I make this happen? How do I bring this more rooted place, this more quiet, soulful place within me? How do I maintain that relationship, and how do I let it be my guide, my captain, maybe you could say, as I move back out into the world? And one way that I think about that is that the new year isn't a mad dash. It's not something where the race gun goes off and you have to run, and it can feel like that, but that's not how I want to feel. I want to feel aligned with the larger world, in the sense of the larger natural world, that emergence, that quickening really won't happen until spring. And right now we have just started winter. We are gestating still. So even though January is here and Monday is looming, I'm giving myself permission to, yes, move back into relationship with colleagues, students, clients, community members, the world, the greater world, but really thinking about it as far as in my work, but doing it in a way that it is a slow emergence. And I don't even know if there is an emergence yet. It feels like the emergence is coming. So there's There's things to do. I've got a lot on my plate this month. We have reorganized my entire business. It's very exciting. There's a lot of new opportunities, a lot of new ways to work with people, to be in communication with them, to support them. But there's a lot of this back end admin, reorganization, to-do lists, things to prepare for. We have an event later in the month. And so instead of getting frantic about that and feeling like I need to do it all today or all on Monday, but really, really letting it be a step-by-step gathering of momentum. And with that, staying connected to all that I have reconnected to these last few weeks, mostly my artistic self, which I've been feeding slowly more and more last year, really feeling it, wanting to be the center of my being again. It's a big part of my identity, and it's not a part that I've been leaning into lately, and seeing how that fits well with my ability to hold space for community and hold space for clients, to be able to have a thriving business, which has nothing to do with my artistic endeavors right now. So letting that slowly enter into the world with me, that I am an artist first. I'm a writer, I'm a performer, who also loves to support other people who are finding their true selves, who are living into the story that they really want to be living into, the most authentic version of themselves as the protagonist. And so trusting, and I guess this is what I want to talk about, trusting that this grounded, rooted, deeply connected self is the one that gets to steer the ship, gets to be the captain. It's the one that sees all the parts of the self and says, yes, we all get to be here. We're all important. And that certainly at my age, I'm 61 now, and a lot of the people I work with who are 45 and older, but even if you're not that old, it's really important, especially in these times, these early days of 2025. And for this entire year especially, we'll just take that. I mean, there's the season of winter, and then there's this year, and of course there's years to come, decade, all that. But to really not put our head in the sand, but to turn away from the collective noise that is going to be very chaotic. And as we understand that chaos, we've been here before. It's been a chaotic 8 years, no matter what. That will continue. So how do we do this? How do we stay connected, grounded, nervous system, quiet, regulated, in a good place where you can use all of your faculties instead of being in flight or fight or freeze or fawn? And how do we do that is by having a daily practice where we have time every day to connect to this part, whether it's artistic part, our spiritual / soul practices, meditation. Maybe you do some sort of imaginal journeying like I do, dream work. But reminding ourselves every morning, maybe it's journaling. I do a lot of journaling in the morning. Reminding ourselves, oh, this is where I want to start my day from, and this is where I want to keep recovering to. So I guess what I'm looking for is for some comrades in arms to walk with me slowly into the new year. Yes, we have things to do. There's going to be meetings next week. There's going to be emails I have to write to market things. All of those things that my artist self doesn't really want to do. But the part of me that is a functioning adult in this world does need to show up at. But how do I show up there? Calm, connected, rooted, or maybe my less skillful self, which for me is people-pleasing, rescuing, fixing, living up to ridiculously impossible expectations. Those are all of my kind of wounded child version of myself, right? The way I was trained in my chaotic family. We all have a version of that. So how do I show up rooted? And so I want to give you permission if you need it. Don't know if you need it. Maybe I'm just giving myself permission, which is probably true, to go sweetly and gently into this year. To keep connecting to your body, keep connecting to your inner life, however you do that, your intuition. Maybe you have some inner companions, figures, inner counsel work. Maybe you do some archetypal work, some active imagination work. Maybe you have someone you talk to weekly, like a therapist or a spiritual guide who helps you ground, but staying connected to that and moving forward from there. So that's all I wanted to say today. I appreciate you watching and listening for however long I've gone on here, almost 13 minutes. I do appreciate it. And appreciate yourself. Appreciate what your heart really wants, what your intuition is telling you, what is insisting on getting attention in your deepest self. Let's appreciate that this year, and let's be guided by that, because that will always keep us on the right track. I absolutely believe that. All right. Have a great week. Have a great weekend first, and then have a great week. All right. I'll hopefully see you soon.